GM. We're live. We are live extra early because I said I'm going to hop in this dog bowl, see what the fill is, type it in chat. If anyone wants to get in, they can get in. Guess what? It snap filled. So I did not want to be here without letting you all know, without just joining a draft in progress. And if I'd waited, it might not have filled. But we are already off and running. Apologies for starting a hair early, but we're rocking and rolling. Hey, Greg, GM, Morning Candle Crew, and friends. Good morning to you, Greg. Thanks so much for coming in, popping in, hanging out. I got the 4-hole here. I like that quite a bit. I like the first 5 spots. I feel like for me, it's sort of CMC. I would take Puka at the 2 like copper prices, JT, Bijan, Cook, and then after that, there's a little bit of warts on the picks. I think you can take any of the next 4 running backs kind of in any order, but I definitely do prefer the first 5 picks to that middle range, and then definitely to the end of the draft. I feel like the left side of these dog bowl drafts. Now obviously that's true a lot of weeks because you're getting the very elite players, but I think especially on this shorter week, it feels like the drop off is steeper than it normally is. So let's do a Bijan team. I think that seems good. I might be slightly lighter on Cook than I'd like to be in the dog bowl, but I don't want to just sacrifice individual teams for overall exposure. So I'm going to stick with the idea of just taking the best player available in the first round. B Grandy, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. I think I messed up my setting there. There we go. Jake, GM to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. And Donnie Murphy, GM Jude. Hey, Donnie Murphy, thanks again. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out, running this dog bowl. Let's see. It's a pretty solid room. We got copper prices here at the 2. We got Casey Pollock at the 7. Go AZ Cards. Want to see it last week is at it again. The grind does not stop. Takes Lamar Jackson at the 8. And otherwise, a few names I recognize that Beretta James, I think they're pretty high volume player. Daddy 34 has been in some of our drafts lately. I've seen him in a lot of the drafts that we've been in. So, and John Boy Beats, I believe is John from the Badge Bros, if I'm not mistaken. So we're off and running. I hope I didn't make that up, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. We're in here at the 1-hole. Joel, GM to you. Best Ball on Call. Good morning, Candle Crew. Hey, Best Ball on Call. Thanks again so much for coming in, hanging out, supporting the channel. Truly means a lot. Thank you all again. As you can see, I'm not in my normal streaming room. We've got the boot. We got the wife with real life work meetings, doing the important work, and so I am down here in the living room set up in the backup studio here. I go AZ Cards, GM to you. I see you in here. Decided to do a Lamar Jackson team. Thought John was Roto Run. Okay, that sounds right. All right, somebody. You're probably right. I get very confused with a lot of the names when they don't match up exactly. So thank you. I really need to make a database of who's who, so I know who I'm drafting with in these contests. We'll definitely pay attention to John Boyd Beats. Skeletor, GM. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out this morning. Greg says, go AZ Cards. You got some first quarter squads, my man. I was looking around there. Go AZ Cards. I feel like yesterday you said how many you got through, and I forgot. Is it like 4? Did I make that up? Either way, congrats. Good luck to the 1Q people. Those finals start tonight. I have serious FOMO about that. The 2Q, I think, is still open. I streamed one of them, and I ultimately decided they're a little long to do on stream. I think everyone's kind of in BR mode. So like the 40-minute drafts, I feel like are long, and I don't know how many people are really into them or playing them. But I am of course a man of the people. So if that's what people really want, I can shift gears. Maybe Monday, something like that, when the slate's a little fresher. All right, so we've got Bijan there. Now our question is, What do we want to do? Do I want to go running back? I mean, Cam Scatterbo just seems like a perfectly nice start to the week here. So let's take Scatterbo. Let's see if we end up doing any kind of Chargers stack, if that's the direction we go. I'll take that. Again, running back gets very thin, very fast in these drafts, and I think it's only gotten worse. Travion Henderson, he was lurking in the late 40s. He's crept up to 40. Some news came out that he might be, or at least, in practice, he was getting some of the snaps ahead of Gibson and Ramondre. And then Judkins has moved up. He was in the late 30s. He's now in here at 28, so he's risen a bit. And Hubbard's crept up, but I think that's more a virtue of just running backs being so thin. People have realized that if you push it late, you might get frozen out. And so I don't think there's anything particular when it comes to Hubbard, Kamara, and Pollard, but all of them have been pulled up. Montgomery, he was in the 70s. He's up at 62. He's kind of like the bailout pick for a lot of people. Krosky Merritt gained a Q tag. Kind of interesting. He turned up with an injury. So we will see. We will see what. Yeah, Scatterbo didn't see that coming yet. Go easy cards. Who could have predicted that? Whoever could have predicted that? Let me make my pick, then I'll catch up with chat. But I saw that out of the corner of my eye. Man, this is a nice price on Igbuka. I do like Debo a lot. Debo has been a riser, but I do feel like Igbuka at pick 22 is kind of nice. I know Godwin's coming back. I'll forego the Igbuka pick in favor of Debo. I really do. I think Debo is going to continue to rise. I like, I don't know, maybe that was a mistake passing that value there. But with it looking like there's a pretty good chance that McLaurin is out, I'm pretty into Deebo Samuel this week. So we'll see. Again, maybe that was foolhardy in passing that, but it also is, a potentially opens up this game, this Falcons Commanders game there. All right, let's see. Yeah, Joel, John Boy Beats is he is definitely a high volume drafter. He's got CMC, Flowers, and Warren to start his team out. Greg says at least 3. I saw some cool ones too. Nice. Yeah. 5 teams in the finals. Good luck, Greg. Hey, good luck, Go Easy Cards. 5 teams in the finals is really that's really something to be proud of. That's really cool. I hope you end up with a sweat Monday night for sure. Greg, yes, see you at the top. So we got to see the candle crew. I'm going to claim credit, even though I had absolutely nothing to do with it, but Go Easy Cards. Yeah, did not see Scatterbo coming. The Gale Death Taxes and Chad Candles drafting in the morning. Well, you know what? Someone's got to keep the lights on. I mean, the best ball is turning into a 365, 24/7 operation. So somebody's got to take the morning shift, and I guess that's my lot in life. James, I'm seeing a ton of dead teams in the 1Q finals, one with 1 or no QB, 2 or 3 healthy running backs, 4 tight end teams or autoed, etc. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some teams like that. Been a lot of injuries, been a lot of quarterback injuries. I'm sure some people really gal-brained it and took like took Russell Wilson. I'm sure there's some like Russell Wilson and Joe Burrow teams, like someone who did something like that. Like, well, Russell Wilson will be playing in this, and now they have like no quarterback. I'm sure there's like somebody out there who's in that boat. But yeah, it's a cool contest there. 4-5 has King Henry, 3 James Cook, 2 JT, and all 3 of them. Running back room looks good. Let's hope my wide receivers spike again. Yeah, it sounds like you've got a nice cross section of the running backs there. Yeah, Greg, also that's a good point. A lot of dead teams. Ton of Connor, Evans, CD. Yep. Yeah, I didn't even mention the skill positions there, but that is so true. I feel like yeah, I mean it would have been, I guess, a little bit tough to get too many of the CD Lamb teams through because he scored absolutely 0. But I guess it wasn't too tough to advance through week 3, if I'm mistaken. It was like 1 of 5. So I guess you could have made it through, but you're going to be like so behind in the finals. Hartman, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. We've got Bijan, Scatabo, and Debo on this team. All right, let's see. Go AZ card. So he's got Lamar Jackson, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, and Tony Pollard. So I like this. I like this Vegas game stack. Danny Dimes goes, I mean, man, do I want to play the Jaden Daniels Q tag game? I'm going to try it. It feels sketchy. I am a little nervous that I'm buying 0. But if Daniels is in, getting Daniels, Debo, Bijan, Scatabo feels very strong. And I don't want to play scared. I obviously will get some quarterback. I'm going to have to set pre-ranks. If he's not in, the little tag there is consistent with the last stuff I saw on Twitter, which is where he says he feels fine, but needs clearance from team doctors. I don't know how to read that, to be honest with you all. I mean, I'll just take it at face value. I'd like to think if he feels fine, that means everything's good, but they're obviously going to be very cautious with their superstar quarterback. Is there a chance he runs a little less? Maybe, but I feel like typically if they're playing their full go, they're either going to play or they're not. So I'll take this shot on the Daniels Debo with the Bijan, the little game stack over there, and that'll give me the flexibility to kind of just take best player available at these positions. I certainly did consider taking Herbert and taking the other side of this game, and then hoping I got one of QJ or Evans. It looks like Evans may have actually gone even before then, but I think that that would have made a certain amount of sense. But it looks like if John Boyd Beats was committed to QJ, because he took Drake May and QJ, he was going to take QJ no matter what. So that would not have worked out, at least as far as getting that. You could of course take Oronda Gadsden. He's live as a late click if you want to get a little sweaty with it there. So let's see what Noah Witt does. We of course need a wide receiver and a tight end. I like JMO and Devonta, so I don't want to say I'm glad he took JMO, but that was sort of makes the decision easy. We take Devonta Smith. If we look back in time, if we hadn't taken Debo, we had Ibuka, so we could have had an interesting game stack. And then, maybe instead of Daniels, we would have taken Baker there. Would have been just an interesting sliding doors, alternate reality. In some other universe, I do that. Hopefully that's not the universe where I would have gone to the Dog Bowl. So that's my thought process there. Let's check in on John Boyd Beats. Let's see what he does. He's got CMC, Flowers, Warren, and then he did Drake May and QJ. So we'll see if he sticks with an unstacked May. I've seen a lot of unstacked May this week. He's very hard to stack with a wide receiver. Nobody trusts Diggs. Diggs. Nobody trusts Booty. He's not going to take Henry with Warren. I mean, he could, but I would be very shocked to see him do that. Go AZ Cards. We'll check in on him. So he's got Lamar, Bowers, Myers, Pollard, and DJ Moore. So he builds a game stack, but with a different quarterback. I like this quite a bit. I really think this is kind of a cool way to build because you're betting on this game to go off, but you're also saying that Lamar Jackson outscores Geno Smith. And so you're banking on a kind of best of both worlds thing. You're boxing out other teams that are doing this Raiders double stack. You're still getting the benefits of the game stack. So there's a reason Go AZ Cards is going to the Dog Bowl. He's doing some sharp stuff over there. Steven, GM to you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us this morning. Hartman got 3 teams to the first quarter final. They all have Hunter Henry. How did this? I'm shocked that the Hunter Henry teams had a high advance rate. Nobody could have foreseen this. How Olave has got him in the last round of my first DBQ this week. Yeah, he's risen quite a bit. And in my insane ramblings, I said maybe you can take Rashid Shaheed, but I haven't seen anybody else do that other than me. I've taken a couple of Rashid Shaheed shares. It's probably bad. He's probably too low volume to get there. But as they say, what if? Chris Bickle, good morning, Candles. Hey, Chris, thanks so much for coming in. Good morning to you. We're just wrapping up this Dog Bowl here. We got Montgomery, the bailout running back, go there. It is still crazy for me to see Mahomes is a last round quarterback. Worthy here at 35. I actually don't know what his current ADP is. He was going undrafted. Practiced in full. We'll see if there's any kind of cap on him when he comes back. We'll see if there's any reduced effectiveness. I have a lot of questions on how that's going to go. I certainly don't mind Worthy Mahomes teams. I mean, if in the off chance Worthy comes back and he's just Xavier Worthy, I mean, the issue is balls above his head. Is he going to have trouble catching those if he has to reach up? And of course, if he gets tackled, he could just be out for the season. So we're kind of sitting here, with a sword of Damocles hanging over us with our Worthy shares, but we'll see. I'd like to see a game. I'd like to see that go through. Go easy cards with Sterling Shepard. I don't mind that whatsoever. Of course, Godwin did come back to practice, so I don't mind the Shepard click, but I think I'd like it more if I knew Godwin was like going to be limited. I don't know what we're going to expect from him. I think we're all gosh darn it. I still can't get Brenton Strange when I want him. All right. I mean, I think I just take Kincaid here. I'll take the highest game total tight end. I mean, that's fine. We'll take Big Kincaid. I've been taking Strange. I like Strange. I think Go's AZ Cards whispered over to David Dew and told him to take my guy. That's my theory. That's my theory there. Hey, Fantasy Football Garage GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out with us today. So let's see. So yeah, the Sterling Shepard call. I'm Evans is out. We've seen Shepard spike in games where he has filled in, and he's going to be super low owned. So I don't mind this as a punt play. I think I want to know more about how much Godwin's going to be involved, but I see the vision. I see the vision. Go easy cards. John Boy Beats. He takes Wan'Dale Robinson with his last pick, which is another click I don't mind so much, especially if Neighbors missed practice. If he misses practice again today, we're definitely going to see Wan'Dale start getting drafted. If Neighbors is ruled out, I think we're going to see 4th round Wan'Dale. If I had to guess, he'll kind of float into this range. You're going to see him opposite a lot of Herbert teams. You're going to see him opposite a lot of Hampton teams. I think you're going to find some Wan'Dale. The story makes sense. You got a rookie quarterback and kind of a possession-y, reliable receiver. And if Neighbors is out, he's, it's him in Slayton. So I don't mind this. I don't mind this Wan'Dale click. Something to keep an eye on, and somebody that could certainly rise as the week goes on. So there we go. For the audio listeners, my team ends up being Bijan, Scatterbo, Debo, Jaden Daniels, Devonta Smith, and Dalton Kincaid. Of course, if I get locked out at quarterback, I'm going to have to set ranks. Just curious if I didn't set ranks. It looks like Baker would be the default. We'll see if I want to rank Jackson Dart kind of as my number one fill-in for any of my Daniels teams or not. You can't do it individually by team. So, I'll have an interesting choice to make. I almost feel like I'd go with Baker just because I feel like that game with Philly is live to have a little bit of fun. But also, again, as we said before, he's going to be without Evans. Philly's defense can be pretty good. So Jackson Dart will be less owned. He'll probably be less ranked highly. And he has rushing upside to where you can take him naked. So I'll have some decisions to make there. Go easy cards. I almost clicked Woody Marks versus that Tennessee rush defense. Yeah, well, Woody Marks' snap counts are rising, and he's, you could be buying low on that. I don't hate that. He's still in some kind of timeshare. I don't think I've seen him drafted in dog bowls, but it's definitely something to consider. Debo, hey Tim, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Absolutely love the Debo. Love Debo this week. He says Debo is back and ready to run through defenders. I'm with you there. Go easy cards. First game for Godwin. How long he'll need some ramp up time to get in football shape? Yes, but to that point, I'm gonna hop in a BR, and then we'll chat some Godwin. Waiting for 3 if anyone wants to get in. They didn't put him on IR partly so that he could obviously they didn't want him to miss 4 weeks, and this is week 4. So maybe it's just as simple as that, but also that he could participate in team activities and be at the practice facility and stuff. I don't know in the weeds too much how much, work he's been able to do to stay in football shape or not. So I don't know. I guess the football shape thing I thought was intentionally, they didn't put him on IR intentionally so he could stay in football shape to some degree or another. But I'm not rostering Godwin, that's for sure. I'm just afraid that it makes the like ancillary pieces like your Tez Johnsons and Sterling Shepherds possibly not like full-time players. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Godwin just out there for a handful of snaps or as a decoy or whatnot. So I'm definitely into the Shepard pick, but I kind of want to know a little more, get a little more info from practice this week. I don't feel like Shepard's going to rise a ton under like any circumstance. Like I'd be surprised if he got past the 6th round of dog bowls. That's just kind of my thinking out loud thought on that. All right, so we're here at the 5. It's a true friends and family draft. We got Mr. Worth here at the 1. We've got B Grandy at the 6. We've got a fake Grandy. We've got Bieber Gandy, not Grandy. So I don't know who that is, but they're trying to ride B Grandy's coattails here. We're at the 5, and let's see what we can see. Try to keep the draft board up so people can see what's going on today. Puka Nacua at the 2. I don't actually necessarily disagree with that. I think Puka is kind of head and shoulders ahead of the other backs this week. Hold on. All right. Excuse me, head and shoulders ahead of the other wide receivers this week. So if you want to take him early, there's so many running backs in the 6 persons that I don't think you necessarily need to like. I don't know. I feel like Puka should be the 2 or even the 1, to be honest, because I like to mix and match the running backs. All right, so Josh Allen goes there. Excuse me. Let's do a Lamar Jackson team. We'll do a Lamar Jackson team. We haven't really done too many of those. Yeah, B Grandy, I don't know, some kind of imposter. It's like it's like the Waluigi of B Grandy here. Bieber Gandy. I don't know. I don't like it though. But we'll see. He took Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua's thumbnail, by the way, always makes me laugh. It's so good. It's so good. It makes it look like he's missing teeth. I don't think he's actually is missing teeth, but just the way the lighting went on that photo, it's pretty solid. All right, so let's see what B Grandy, he went Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley there. We of course went James Cook and Lamar Jackson on this team. And the fake Gandy takes Derrick Henry's. All right, so J-Dubs, he goes CMC, Hampton, Bowers. For us, so let's see, what kind of game stack do we want to do? We could try to do... The Kansas City side is just so tough because I don't really know what to make of Worthy. It feels like such a question mark that I'm not doing it yet. And I don't think he'll ever get that expensive here. Like, I don't think we'd ever end up taking him above AJ Brown. So like, kind of what's the point in rushing? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be tough to get any kind of like truly crazy unique combo because by the 4th round, everyone's kind of scrolling and filling out their roster anyway. But yeah, just kind of thinking out loud on that. We'll do a Romo Dunze. We'll do Romo Dunze. I'm pretty into that. Pretty into Odunze this week. Tim says, I was complaining about Hockenson last week. It looks like he turned it around. Saw he caught a touchdown. Did he? I completely missed Hockenson scoring. That game was so weird and bad. I stopped paying attention because sorry, I'm also going to just take I'll take AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown's going to end up with the Hurts teams a lot, and not necessarily with that many Lamar Jackson teams. So we'll take AJ Brown here. there were so many like defensive touchdowns, and the Bengals were so inept. That was like the main story of the game. I completely missed Hawkinson getting there. Mark Andrews did come alive. Yes, the Mark Andrews garbage time touchdown was absolutely brutal for me in Showdown that night. But I do have a lot of Mark Andrews in the season long stuff. Jake Binninger says Wentz historically throws to the tight end. They must be playing Monday night. Because tonight is Cards Seahawks, so they must be one of the Monday night games. I haven't even looked at the Monday night slate yet, but I know, or I mean, maybe they're Sunday night. Let me see, what's the Vikings? Who are the Vikings playing this week? Vikings. Oh, they're the Dublin game. Okay, Vikings Steelers is in Dublin. Gotcha. Yep. Gotcha. Yeah. I think it's isn't it Dublin? Is it Dublin or London? Croquet Park in Dublin. So there you go. We got a nice Ireland game. Nice Ireland game for the people here. All right, so we've got Lamar, James Cook, Rome. Oh, yeah. No, we knew it. We knew what you meant, Jake. Just on the across the Atlantic here. So we need one more wide receiver and then a tight end, and then this draft will be all done. We'll be all done here. I could end up taking Zay Flowers and stacking Lamar Jackson. I haven't really done too much of that, so maybe that makes sense. I mean, I've been taking a lot of naked Lamar teams. I think that seems good. Or did he already go? No, he might go here. He might go to Lennian if Lennian doesn't have imagination or is angry that I took Jalen Hurts from him. If he does take, he takes Jacoby Myers. We'll take Zay Flowers. We'll buy the dip. We'll buy the Dipperino on Zay Flowers. We'll do a 3 wide receiver team: Lamar Jackson, James Cook, Rome Odunze, AJ Brown, Zay Flowers. And I will play this on the other side through Travis Kelce. I don't really like Travis Kelce. I like to scroll. I don't even know that you need to have a Kansas City bring back, but I will do that. And so build a small game stack here. So we've got James Cook, Lamar Jackson, Rome Odunze, AJ Brown, Zay Flowers, and Travis Kelce. B. Grandy goes Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Ladd McConkey, Dalton Kincaid, Ricky Pearsall, and Ashton Genty. I like all these players. I think that is a perfectly reasonable team. Juwan Jennings missed practice on Wednesday, so we'll see if he's out. Then I really do like the Pearsall click quite a bit. And then J-Dubs over here, he goes CMC, Omarion Hampton, Brock Bowers, Justin Herbert, QJ. So he gets the QJ Hampton and Herbert double stack, adds Drake London there to his team. So I like the squad there, making a big bet on the Chargers. And that was a nice little BR. All right, let's see. I'm almost thinking if people are interested, I could try to run a PTP. I have not done any primetime paloozas this week. So let's hop in one of those. This one's snap filled. I don't know anything about this slate. So you got Jacobs, Mason, and then Ken Walker, Benson, Javonte, Jalen Warren, and Sharp. So kind of a little bit deeper of a running back slate than we've gotten on some weeks. Let's check quarterback. We've got Love, Kyler, Dak, Darnold, Wentz, Aaron Rodgers. All right, interesting there. And then wide receivers, JSN, Justin Jefferson, Pickens, Metcalf, MHJ, Matthew Golden, Jordan Addison, Romeo Doubs. Of course, the return of Jordan Addison. I completely forgot. He is back in our lives. We'll see how if Carson Wentz is able to get him the ball. Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton, Turpin. So, again, not a bad little slate here. Not a bad little slate for a PTP. Of course, including that Dublin game is kind of nice for us. running back, I think, is probably going to get thinner than everything. But man, JSN is just so strong. Let's do that. I mean, his target share is just, to me, head and shoulders above everybody else. So we'll try that. Hopefully we will still get one of the running backs we want. And by the running backs we want, I mean Trey Benson. If we don't get Trey Benson, then we'll figure something out. All right, so yeah, let's just take Trey Benson here. That seems good. So we've got Trey Benson and JSN. Charles Nelson, hey, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out this morning. Jalen Warren goes. That's who I was planning to take, to be perfectly candid with you all. I mean, Javonte is so freaking annoying, but I'll take Javonte. I mean, Sharps, it sounds like Sharps is going to be back, so he's definitely draftable, and it's going to make Ken Walker slightly worse. Taking Javonte Williams always feels terrible because I don't like Javonte Williams, and I have absolutely none of him in like best ball, so it's hard to root for him because I know I'm rooting against my other bags. But I think he's clickable in a PTP slate, especially when three of us went double running back. This D Baggett player, who I think is a high volume player, I've seen them in a lot of rooms. They're going to need to catch up at running back, but if this person is smart, they will not take a running back till their last click or two, because none of us can take any more. I mean, DK Metcalf would be kind of nice. If Metcalf is gone, I mean, Tucker Kraft is kind of hard to pass on. Tucker Kraft is a darn good player. So let's get Tucker Kraft onto the team, and then maybe. I mean, we could skip Cup and go straight to Horton. We could click the mystery box in Addison. I mean, the mystery box is a little bit tempting. Let's do Torrey Horton. Getting more and more involved. And now we'll look to make this a Sam Darnold team. Hopefully, this 12 steps guy doesn't take Sam Darnold. I don't know why he would. I don't think that pick would make sense for him, but you never know. You never know. All right, let's see. And 12 steps takes Sam Darnold. God damn it. All right. Do we want? All right. I guess I should have taken Darnold and then the other pick, because now we just have unstacked Dak. Cool. Thanks, 12 steps. I hope this is why I hate primetime paloozas, because people just do weird stuff for no reason. This person, I mean, they really went out of their way to stack AJ Barner with Sam Darnold. Like, grow up, Peter Pan. That's not going to work. All right. Anyway, let's see. Best one call. Wentz and O'Connell, but more could doubly ask for. Oh God. Go AZ Cards pick of the week. Strange last round before Chad. Remember, it only works. It only works if it's a snipe. Yeah. Gosh, it's brutal. It keeps happening to me. Go AZ Cards. Jake says, just took the Texans in my home Survivor League and I want to throw up. Oh my God. Some Survivor Leagues, you have to pick two teams this week. I can't remember if it's Splash, but I know there are some formats where you got to take two. Charles, I pulled that up before, but GM again to you. Oh no, Steven just had a hurry up draft canceled. Oh, gosh, the canceled drafts are the absolute worst. Yes, Dak to Devontae is what you need. Yes, it's a low owned. You know what, Steven? It's just like we live in a society. We live in a society that relies on some level of trust between its participants, and when that trust breaks down, society itself breaks down. And this is the canary in the coal mine when drafters are just windmilling in Sam Darnold, AJ Barner stacks. Then all of a sudden you can no longer trust your neighbor, and the whole thing falls apart. Swish Sanders, GM to you. I am of course joking. People can take whoever they want, but seriously, It annoys me when someone does something that I think just makes both of your teams worse. Like, I don't think that made that person's team better. It just made my team suck. All right, let's see what the dog bowl is at. I'm waiting for 9. All right, we're not going to do that. Let's hop in another main BR. Let's hop in a main BR if anyone wants to get in. Waiting for 2. But yeah, Swish Sanders, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out this fine morning today. If you're in a PTP with me and you see me with a double stack, please feel free to snipe my quarterbacks. It's fine. All right. Waiting for one. If anyone wants to hop in, I hope people got fun eliminator pods. I have one name I recognize, but I can't. It's not from Discord, so I don't know actually where I know them from. But I only have 4 teams left, and I'm really hoping to have at least one good elim sweat before I am out of the contest. Yeah, Hartman, Barner with Darnold stacks are chalk, bro. Try to get different next time. I should have known that that's what all the sharp drafters are doing. Now what Barner's gonna like shove it down my throat tonight and have like 3 touchdowns. I'm gonna feel like an idiot, but yeah, it's old AJ Barner. He just needs to triple his career touchdowns. So it looks like we got B Grandy in here. I don't think I recognize anybody else, but if you are in here, please. Article 6 of the Geneva Conventions requires you to identify yourself in a stream draft if you are lurking. So please do so that we don't have to call in the United Nations and sanction you. I don't want to have to do that again. We're in the 6th hole. And maybe we'll try to get a little weird. I always say I'm going to get weird, and then my teams are not weird. But maybe we'll actually try to get a little bit unique this time out of the 6-7. All right, so B Grandy takes CMC. That, of course, makes sense. We're going to get the choice if we want to do an elite quarterback or not. We're going to get that decision. If I just look at the quarterbacks, if I want to think of any like unusual stacks, I think I've identified something that I see happen in. Well, now I don't have to. We're not going to get weird because we're going to get Puka or Bijan. I'm sorry. The weirdness is canceled. I'm sorry. I hope none of you guys got too excited. But I think we're just going to take Bijan or Puka and probably play it pretty straight up. See what X Jersey boy does. He takes Derrick Henry. Well, okay. Now we're just gonna take Bijan and Puka because I think to do anything else is stupid. Now we're in like don't drop the baby territory because this is actually going to be kind of hard to get. I think it's don't think there's going to be too many Bijan Puka teams. I mean, there's so many of these rooms. There are going to be some, but I do I have not seen this yet, and I've done almost 50 of these drafts. Greg says, surprise meetings on a Thursday morning can get out of here. Got drafts to analyze. Why don't they gosh, there's nothing worse than the calendar notification when you turn on your computer or log in. You're like, what is this meeting? Why? Who added me to this meeting? And that is a terrible run out. That is a terrible run out, Greg. I hope they're willing to let you out so that we can look at some of these. We can keep looking at these drafts. Let's see what B Grandy does over in the 1 hole. He goes CMC and then adds Nico and Omar and Hampton. No, I have no notes. That seems like a good way to construct your team. Our question for us over here is: do we want to lean into either side of this game and do a game stack? Do we want to build a different QB wide receiver stack? I'm not into Stafford, so if I did a QB stack, it would be doing something else. Hartman asks, do you think Geno could be a good scroll? But yes, I think it's a very good scroll because there's hold on, I got to pick and then I'll get back to that thought. But the TLDR is Caleb is drafted in most of these contests. He's the QB5, whereas Geno is not, and so just playing that through the other side of the game gives you access to a game we all like in a different way. So I am very much into that. Is the long and short of it there. All right, X Jersey boy. Let's see what he does here. So he takes Hurts. I actually think I would have gone Hurts. I think I would have gone Hurts AJ Brown. I like Tyler Warren. I do like Tyler Warren. We'll lean into that game maybe a little bit, and then I'm going to scroll for my guy Debo. I'm really into Debo this week. I think Debo is really fun. And then I would again have to decide, do I want to try to do Jaden Daniels and play the Q-tag game or not? Because I could also take Daniel Jones on this team. I think both picks make a fair degree of sense. So I'll just have to see. What happens there. James Young says, Bijan Puka, you lucky dog. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's a pretty nice way to start a draft, I have to say. I mean, you could argue that maybe I could have waited on Devo, but I really do like Devo. I think he should be drafted a lot more than he is. I like Devo opposite Bijan. I feel like they could potentially have some positive correlation in the right game script there. So Hartman says, hardest part with Gino is knowing the ideal stacking partner. Yeah, I just don't. For me, I don't like Bowers, so it's literally is just Jacoby Myers. I don't love Jacoby Myers, but I see the vision. I think people are kind of out on him because Trey Tucker did a lot. That to me was a little bit of an aberration. I'm willing to go back to the well on Myers, but I'm also willing to realize that Jacoby Myers is always lets us down and is is a little bit can be a little bit annoying. I mean, Bucky, man, I really do like Bucky Irving. They might give him the ball a lot this week. I also like Scatabo. Boy, tough decision here as far as the quarterback or what we do here. I think we'll just take the value. I think we'll do Bucky Daniels on this team. We'll play the Q-tag. We're going to swing for the fences with this start. We'll do Bucky and we'll do Daniels. I like this team a lot. Daniels, Bucky, Bijan, Puka, Debo, and Tyler Warren. I mean, it's possible we have the tight end one, the wide receiver one, the RB one, and the QB one. I mean, I know that's trite to say, but I mean, I think you can look at yourself with a straight face and say that's true. If Jaden Daniels is healthy, he's definitely live to outscore the other options. So, it's possible that this is a very strong team. If Jaden Daniels doesn't play, that kind of sucks because again, we're going to end up in playing the Q-tag game. I very much hope this guy doesn't take why am I blanking on his name? Not him. He didn't. Daniel Jones is who I was thinking of, because I think Daniel Jones will be who I rank for the 6-person BRs the highest, because you can take them unstacked and be perfectly happy with it. And let's see, where is he here? So yeah, Mahomes, Goff, Daniel Jones. I'll probably set the rankings to put Jones ahead of Mahomes, just again because I think that's fine. I mean, if I ended up with Mahomes, that wouldn't be the end of the world. He's fine to play unstacked too, because knowing his stacking partner can be a fool's errand, and he's willing to spread the ball, and they're probably going to get pushed by the Ravens. That's where I am at there. Go Easy Cards. Lowest scroll you've done is Rashid Shaheed. I think that's the deepest into the depths of Narnia I've done, because he can get there. He doesn't need volume to get there. And they're massive. What are they? 12.5 point dogs. I think 13.5 point dogs. So they're, I know Rattler doesn't tend to throw it deep, but if ever there was a time to give it a whirl, they could. And Rashid Shaheed is very fast, which I hear is good. So I don't know. That's the lowest I've scrolled. I'm not saying to take him a lot, but I've sprinkled him in. FK Coors, Gino is QB 10 for me on main. Just a tough QB slate when we have Lamar, Allen, and Hurts as choices. Yeah. I mean, you just have to tell yourself that game goes off, which I feel like it easily could. I think we have two bad defenses. It's in Vegas, right? I'm pretty sure. Did he get drafted? Where am I blind? Yeah, it's in Vegas. So again, if you tell yourself that that's the game you need, I don't mind playing it through that at all. But again, we saw Go AZ Cards stack that game and then use Lamar at quarterback, right? He did a team with Bowers and Myers and did Lamar Jackson in the Dog Bowl. So I mean, you have a Dog Bowl finalist who literally is making the exact same argument as you with their entry, basically saying well, we could still stack the Raiders side, but we could get a better quarterback. So I think there's two ways to play it. I don't mind doing it with Gino, because he obviously could get there. There's no guarantee Lamar Jackson goes off. But I definitely see your argument there. James agrees. He doesn't see how Geno gets there. He'd take Dart over Geno. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dart's obviously the mystery box, and we know he has, we know he had collegiate rushing upside. We'll see if it translates. I think Dart's fine. I don't know if I necessarily agree that Dart has more upside than Geno, because we know how bad the Bears secondary is. Like, they've given up everything to everyone. So if you're ever going to have a good Geno week, it's in a dome at home against the secondary. So I think I'd take Geno over the mystery box in a game stack there. Tiger Uppercut GM Chad, what are you planning to do with your best ball winnings this year? I'm just planning to lose them next year. Don't worry, Tiger Uppercut. We'll roll it back into I have nothing if not a friend to the ecosystem. Tiger Uppercut. Hartman, Geno was QB4 last week. I think if the Bears pushed them on offense and Geno could get there in volume, he already has 100 attempts in 3 games. Yeah, I mean, up tempo, bad defense. I'm in on Geno this week. Tyler, hey, howdy, Tyler. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. GM to you. James says, long story short, if you think Trey Tucker's week 3 output, I don't know if I agree with that, James. I really don't think it's up to the Trey Tucker situation. And also, I mean, I'm not taking Bowers, but it does sound like it's the kind of injury that doesn't need like rest to get better. Like he's just going to start looking better as the season goes on, as the injuries further in the rearview mirror. So I don't know if I necessarily agree that it's too Trey Tucker dependent to get past the Bears. Hartman agreed that Geno isn't likely the top guy, more of a scroll down mix in, not a big no, I'm not saying don't take him every draft, but I think if you look at the percentage of people stacking that game, you're gonna have Caleb as the quarterback like at least 70-75% of the time, in my opinion. I mean, that's literally just me pulling a number out of thin air, but I it's probably going to be at least 2-1 Caleb, if not more. Taylor, yeah, Geno has a projected top 5 setup, but we'll see which Geno shows up. Thankfully, yeah, again, at home makes a big difference for him. James Young says he's playing the Bears at home. It's possible, but seeing they're only due to one of Trey Tucker's 3 or 4 spike weeks this season doesn't seem realistic. Well, I just don't. It's impossible to know this, right? Because I mean, if Trey Tucker catches a long bomb touchdown, then like the drive is over. There's nothing to guarantee. Like he just didn't get there with 4 catches to Jacoby and Bowers. Like they moved the ball down the field. Like I don't know. I feel like you're kind of punishing him for like a play going well, like assuming that drive would have stalled out or whatnot. Like I don't know. I feel like he still probably could have gotten there, but I mean it helps. And the other thing is Trey Tucker is there, and Trey Tucker's super fast. Tyquan Thornton's super fast. Jack Betch is on the team. Hartman says he probably needs like 35 attempts and some positive touchdown variance to get at least 3. That's the path that costs to paying off. Yes. And if that's like what you're banking on. James Young, Dart is going to throw to Neighbors 75 times. He has the only issue there, James, is Neighbors is missed practice, which is a little scary. I do think Dart is going to prioritize getting the ball to his best receiver. So I hope this is correct. I like Dart. I think all of us probably have Dart bags in best ball that we're super excited to see. We probably, I'm sure a lot of people are taking him as a BR scroll. I think I might have a Dart team or 2 in there. I don't mind Dart. I just feel like we know Geno's at home with elite weapons around him in the pretty much best matchup you could have in a pace up spot. Like I don't know. I feel like it's getting a little like it's just a classic mystery box to me. Bowers getting healthier. If 3 to 4 week, typical to form. Week 2 in the books. Full practice Wednesday. Docs say full practice 3 times in a row, back to normal for what it's worth. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think Bowers is going to get healthier and healthier. I like Dart, just not a fan of Chargers for the first game when he's a first read merchant. Yeah, I think the Chargers are a little bit of a tough matchup, but at least he'll probably get the good game script on him. Swish Sanders, you may not want to stack Geno. He could easily get there spraying the ball around some more. How are we talking about Love? Yeah, I mean, it's always a risk. I mean, he has a teensy bit of rushing upside. Like he's not like a statue, but I wouldn't expect him to like rush there. I mean, so yeah, I mean, if you want to take unstacked Geno and make the same Jordan Love, Pat Mahomes kind of argument where no one receiver gets there because the receivers aren't like cheap. Bowers is still the tight end one this week. Jacoby Myers in dog bowls is like a 3rd, 4th round pick. Here he's picked 34, so he is getting drafted, but not in every draft. Like he didn't get drafted in this one, but he's I would rather take Jacoby Myers than probably Ted McMillan, who's injured, definitely than Brian Thomas at this point. Probably not Pearsall. In QJ, again, people are just mixing and matching. You're going to see QJ and Keenan Allen kind of like alternate, like who gets drafted in a draft. Tyler says, Geno Dome more meaningful than Geno Home Road. Funny enough, so thankfully Vegas is Dome. Yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't a huge sample, but he was like it was like a totally different animal playing in domes for whatever reason. It was like a real thing for Geno before he got to Vegas. Would you rather Daniel Jones or Geno? For me, Daniel Jones, but that's only because I kind of believe in this. Maybe I'm an idiot for believing in this Colts thing, but I do. I mean, it's a tough matchup with the Rams. And, now that I say it, it seems a little messed up. I think I'm still Daniel Jones. I think I'm still Danny Dimes, but I'm that's Swish Sanders. I'm not sure Neighbors is going to practice in an early week at all this season. That's fair. I mean, they're definitely, that toe thing is like not the best. I'm hopping in another BR. We've caught up with chat. If anyone wants to get in, we're waiting for 2. But wasn't it some new injury that he came down with? Like it wasn't the toe, it was something else. Let me pull up the injury report. Yeah, it was a shoulder. That's right. It was a shoulder injury. So, I mean, dear God, I would think if it was just the maintenance stuff, they would just list it as the toe. But I don't know. It is nice that Andrew Thomas at least practiced. Got a partial practice in, because that does make a huge difference for him. We'll see if he gets ramped up to a full snap share this week or not. Waiting for one in this BR. By the way, it's been 52 minutes and I have not asked. But if you could please like the stream, if you could sub to the channel, even better. But we'll take what we can get. I'm just happy that y'all are here hanging out. But if you could drop a like, drop a sub, that helps keep the lights on here. And it doesn't look like anyone got in this draft with me, which is fine. Fine, I'll draft by myself. No, but I did get the 3-hole in this one. Let's see. Swish says that wonderful MetLife field causes shoulder injury. Yeah. The turf is bad, and under the bad turf is just concrete. Reinforced concrete. James says, I like that we can have these conversations and work through our ideas early. Sets the tone for no, I mean, I'm happy to talk stuff out. I'm gonna, people ask stuff and I might say something, and as I'm like going through my thought process, I'm like change my mind, because I'm like, that actually doesn't sound right. I don't think I believe this. You're right. So I agree, James, and I appreciate you all coming up and hanging out and being able to chat some football. It is a great way to start the day, and I do truly appreciate y'all hanging here. The Gale, if I like to stream again, don't like it twice. It's 1 time or 3 times, not twice. Twice is bad. But thanks, the Gale. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Appreciate the like. Thanks again. All right, so let's see. I'm thinking of doing another Puka team. I truly do think that Puka should be going ahead of the, like, I mean, how much more do we like Puka than Amon-Ra, Nico, Neighbors? Like that range to me is somewhat interchangeable. Maybe that's wrong. I mean, Amon-Ra against Cleveland is fine. Doesn't feel amazing. So let's take Puka Nacua. We'll do a Puka team. We probably won't get a Puka. What did we get? A Puka Bijan. I mean, man, that was nice. Hopefully we didn't drop the baby too badly there. But I do think we built a pretty cool team. A little bit of a game stack. Hopefully Jaden Daniels plays, at least for that team. Part of me is like, I hope he doesn't play, because I haven't taken a ton of Jaden Daniels. So we'll see. Steven says, it seems like Puka's in a tier all by himself. I've seen him go 2 or 3 in some of the BRs over some of the running backs. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm taking him over Bijan, who I've seen go at the 1 or 2. I do agree with this. I think Puka is in a wide receiver tier of his own. I mean, that said, that by taking Puka at the 3, I am foregoing this tier of running back, which I do think separates somewhat from the other ones. I'm willing to buy the dip on Derrick Henry this week. Maybe that's full. If Henry has another down week, I think I'm going to start getting worried. But I mean, this is such a must-win game for Baltimore. I think that there goes Derrick Henry. Speaking of Derrick Henry, I think they are going to lean on him. They are going to lean on him quite a bit. I think the one thing about Puka is that people don't like taking Matt Stafford, so that does create a little bit of weirdness there. I'll do a Lamar Jackson team. Why not? Let's take Lamar Jackson if we're going to say this is a must-win game, and we're going to talk about that. Let's take Lamar and Puka here. Swish asking, when is the Devontae recap? I mean, they've been trying to get Devontae the ball in the end zone, like jamming it in there. Every time I had that game on, it felt like they were just like trying to get Devontae the ball. I mean, he's also, you say, I feel like he's been fine, right? Like, I don't have his stats in front of me, but Devontae Adams, I don't want to be a game log watcher, but I just mean, I think hasn't he been good? Okay, yeah, I guess he only got 3 receptions, 8 targets, and a touchdown. Yeah, he's had touchdowns in his last 2 games, but he's at a sub 50% catch rate. I think you're talking about Devontae. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess when I was looking, it was just a bunch of incompletions in the end zone, and then they finally got one in there. But it does seem like he is a go-to red zone target. All right, I'm coming up, and then I will catch up with chat. I know I talked about Brock Bowers getting healthier. I just haven't been taking much Bowers this week. I still feel like he's not quite there yet, but he definitely could be. You know, Michael Mayer is out with a concussion. I'll take a Nico share on this team. We might just do naked Lamar Jackson on this one. David Montgomery what is this person doing? Hurts, Bijan, and David Montgomery. All right, well, David Montgomery I have not seen drafted in a main BR. He goes in the dog bowl in the last round, or the second to last round. So that's a little bit surprising here that this person is getting a little loose here in the BR streets. All right, just way too many targets with too good an average depth of target for it not to happen soon. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know why I thought it kind of was happening, and it's not quite. I took Devontae a lot too, just not with Puka. Yeah, again, it's so hard to do the because then you like had to take Stafford. And gosh, it doesn't feel like he ever gets there. Devontae Adams, 8 red zone targets this year, 1 reception, 0 touchdowns. Dear God, yeah, I didn't even realize that I guess his 1 touchdown must have been outside the red zone. Swish Sanders, the production gap between Puka and wide receiver 2, according to ETR, is 4.5. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. Sub 50. Oh, yeah, we pulled that up. If anything, the natural uptick in production could limit Puka's ceiling. Wouldn't shock me if Amon-Ra was the wide receiver 1. Yeah, I would not be shocked, but I would be surprised. To me, I wouldn't. It's possible Amon-Ra outscores Puka, but I feel like somebody down here is going to have a big week. We did a Zay Flowers team before. I'll take Omari in Hampton. I mean, with Najee out, it does seem like it is the Hampton show. Him getting 6 receptions last game kind of surprised me. I didn't get to watch a ton of it, so I don't know if these were designed receptions or check downs, because they don't typically throw the ball a ton to running backs the Chargers don't tend to do that a lot. So I'm kind of interested to see if that maintains. If it does, I mean, my God, it's wheels up for Hampton, because, you know, Herbert did used to throw to Eckler a lot when Herbert was a rookie, but then, you know, that was at least one coaching staff ago that was doing that. and that's really dried up. It'd be interesting to see if that's something that comes back because they want to utilize Hampton's skill set. So I'll keep an eye on that. That's something to keep an eye on for me, if that's a way they actually want to use him, or if that was kind of like a one-game blip there. Swiss Sanders says basically saying it should be better. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm sure that those expected fantasy points charts are probably pretty kind to Devontae, that he should be scoring a little better than he was. Let's just mix it up a little. Let's scroll down to Genty here. This team is looking a little bit like a 5-leg parlay. There's not like a lot of correlation, and by a lot of correlation I mean any correlation whatsoever. So we've got Lamar Jackson, Omarion Hampton, Ashton Genty, Puka Nacua, and Nico Collins. I like all these players individually. They don't tell any kind of cohesive story, but I think they're all draftable guys. They're all draftable guys. I would like to make this a Mark Andrews team. I think that would make sense to then end up with the Lamar Andrews stack. I also would be perfectly fine taking another tight end here, but we'll do Andrews. We'll stack up Lamar Jackson on this team. God, go easy cards. It's like I hate this question because I feel like honestly, go easy cards. It's QJ, Ladd, and then Keenan. I'm not drafting that way because I'm a coward. Like, I'm still taking Ladd ahead of them, but I really think, gun to my head, like, survival on the line, I would take QJ over Ladd right now. It sucks. But again, like I said, I'm a coward, and that's not how I'm drafting it. And you've seen me take Ladd in dog bowls ahead of QJ, but that's my current heart of hearts. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very transparent with you all. That's where I'm at, but I'm not drafting that way because I'm afraid. FK Glorious, fire up the what happened before will happen again with the DMOT pick. Yeah. Let's see, what did they end up? For the audio listeners, this team ended up. This was Puka, Lamar Jackson, Nico Collins, Omarion Hampton, Ashton Genty, and Mark Andrews. I mean, again, feels a little like a 5-leg parlay, but hopefully it hits. So the drafter that did QJ didn't do anything really weird after. That took Montgomery. They ended up taking QJ Ertz and Devonta Smith, which was a bring back to Jalen Hurts, a stack with Jalen Hurts. So drafted a very normal team in a very abnormal order. I wouldn't have looked at this team twice if they took Montgomery with the last pick. Because, I mean, if you want to scroll down for a running back and just say it's Montgomery week, I'm not going to fault you. Like, no one's drafting Montgomery. I don't think that's bad. It's it obviously feels very chasey, but we've seen Montgomery have spike weeks. We've seen him sub in at the goal line. We've seen him get there. If it really is a blowout, sometimes Montgomery might get a little more work late. And again, like we saw last week, he scored that late touchdown. So anyway, that is to say, I don't hate the Montgomery pick. I don't think I'm going to be doing it in the 6 persons, but seeing it in the 3rd round is funny when this team is like perfectly normal. Swish Sanders says Detroit's offense is going to be so paced down. Browns have discovered running Judkins like he's Nick Chubb every play. Yeah, Judkins is someone I want to mix more in the 6-person BRs that I have only been taking in dog bowls, but I think we should be taking him there. Hartman, Sun God 20 touchdown season's about to be a movie. Yeah, I mean, he is looking like the pick over BTJ in BBMs if you were at the back end of the 1st round. I think a lot of people would want to convert their BTJ shares to Amon-Ra shares. James said, sounds like a lot of 3 and outs. Yeah, that's obviously the fear. Is he could be running into a lot of 8-man boxes there. Swiss Sanders think Hampton targets may have been somewhat a result of a changed game plan. No Disley, no Najee. Not that they were super involved in a pass game, but you never know how that. Yeah, again, like that's why I really want to see this next game to see if that if that's sticky at all or if that was kind of a one-off. Hartman Chad, it isn't cowardly to take Ladd over QJ. Scrolling down to take the 2nd or 3rd wide receiver like Ladd is a great PR strategy. Yeah. Dear God, Hartman, you are right. It's with Sanders. I mean, I know the Packers offense isn't as good as the Lions, but the Packers D is way better than the Lions, and they kept that game pace down too. More because Cleveland dictated that, not Green Bay. Yeah, I mean, it is possible that Cleveland's like able to, I don't want to say keep pace, but like it's not like they have like an anemic passing game. I mean, like Flacco is competent. Again, like I said, I think Judkins is definitely alive, and I want to mix him in a little bit in the 6 persons. Who will the Slappyverse give up first on, Ladd or Travis Hunter? Travis Hunter, I think. I think people really want to believe on Ladd. Whereas Travis Hunter, I think there were enough, at least, like, reasons for concern with the possible playing DB that he's easier to throw overboard than, like, Ladd, who we were taking in the 2nd round without question. Monty, 3rd round, he's just drafting the last PTP. Yeah, this is not a PTP. I hope this wasn't a PTP. FK Coolers, I can still buy Gibbs a bit due to big play speed, and that Jacobs is never really going to do that. Gibbs could still pop a 60-yarder against anyone. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to take Gibbs against even a good run defense. The problem is you're not getting a discount on Gibbs. Like, I guess 12. He went 12 in this draft, but that's not his normal ADP. Now I hope I didn't make that up. What is his ADP? Yeah, it's 8. Okay, so I guess that's not too. If his ADP was 12, meaning you occasionally got him at like 14, 15, I'd be really into that. But he still is pretty pricey, and he's very pricey over in dog bowl land, where I think he goes a couple picks higher because of how thin running backs get over there. Hartman asked, did anyone take BTJ over Amon-Ra? That sounds fake. Well, I think some people did, right? Like their ADPs were almost back to back, and I know some people were really into BTJ. Hunter has a QB problem. Yeah, we definitely can blame all our woes on T-Law. Like we definitely, and there are people are. Yeah, definitely. Swish is right. It did happen some. The real crime is Puka was going. Yep. Man, that Stafford back injury was a generational wealth opportunity for Puka Nacua drafters. Yep, Stafford Swish Sanders. The Stafford's FUD was so overblown. Puka's as close to QB proof as they come. Yes. Yeah, I mean Puka's problem has always been that he's been injured every year, and no one wants to say that, but he's been injured every year. All right, the dog ball's waiting for 9, so I'm going to hop into main BR again. If anyone wants to get in, we are waiting for 2. Oh, Hartman asks, were you a T-Law believer or not? Yes, I was a T-Law believer. I will admit this. I am not really a T-Law believer. I think he's just going to be kind of a 18th best quarterback in the league. Something like that is kind of like the ceiling, I think. But yeah, I no longer think he has that chance to be, like a Joe Burrow type player, which is kind of where, I thought the ceiling when he came out was that. And I was willing to say Urban Meyer was a deeply, deeply unserious coach, and so blame some of his early development woes on that. I mean, it is, you never know. I mean, quarterbacks can play until they're 40, and how old is Trevor Lawrence? Like he's going to be around a long time. How old is Trevor Lawrence? He's 25. Like, I mean, players can improve, year to year. So I think the story is not fully written on this guy. I mean, he's almost younger than Tyler Shuck, right? Tyler Shuck. How old is Tyler Shuck? Tyler Shuck is 25. Tyler Shuck was born on September 18th of 1999. Trevor Lawrence was born on October 6th. Trevor Lawrence is like a week and a half older than Tyler Shuck, which is kind of crazy. But I guess my point is more like, I don't think he's going to reach that like Burrow-y heights, but I think he could still improve. Long story short, I can't believe he's that much not older. That was a better way to phrase that than Shuck. I missed this. Injuries are the cost of being a dog, says Swish Sanders. Got to roll with the punches. Yeah, he is a dog. By the way, I took Jonathan Taylor with the 2nd pick just so I don't keep drafting Puka teams over and over on stream. Hartman says it's okay. T-Law has scammed many people. Hopefully the cycle of pain ends. I don't know. We will see. Steven says, years ago when I was younger, QB usually waited a few years before they became starters. Yes, that was the classic thing, right? After, kind of like after David Carr got thrown to the Wolves in the Browns organization after being the number 1 overall pick behind a god-awful offensive line. You then saw a few instances where making the quarterback sit kind of worked, like Aaron Rodgers, I believe, sat for a full year. There was another big example. I'm going to take Derrick Henry here, so we're going to go Henry. That was kind of the meta, was making the quarterback sit, and we'll see if they actually if that was actually a thing, because I don't think anymore the truly elite highly drafted quarterbacks no longer are sitting. Brady was first of all, David Russell, thanks for coming and hanging out. Yes, Brady was famously behind Drew Bledsoe, and it took an injury to unleash that hell upon the world there. David Russell says, example, Danny Dimes, Geno Smith. Yeah, again, it can be a slow developing position, quarterback. It feels like he's been around forever. I'll take Nico there. I'm perfectly happy with Nico. Mike Robb says, you never know. Disney remaking Everything Lawrence is the perfect role for the older version of Sunshine from Remember the Titans. Fantastic film, Remember the Titans. And yes, there is definitely a strong resemblance there. Swish Sanders, I'm still giving the Jags offense more time. Yeah. Again, it's his 15th new system he's had to learn. So we will see. James Young, if your QB signs a $255 million deal, you still expect to, again, I don't think he's going to be super high, but I don't think it's insane to think he could be like a top 15-ish quarterback. I don't think that's out of the question, but yeah, it doesn't seem like, we didn't get what we thought we were getting when he came out. Go easy card. Yes, I am taking Strange in BRs and dog bowls. I like both of them. David Russell injury. I'm not sure if you mean the Brady played because of injury, but yes, he would not have. I don't think he would have played that year with if Bledsoe hadn't have gotten hurt. Cart before the horse. I missed something, James. I'm sorry. T-Law on his Darnold arc will be sick in 2028. In 2028 he'll be like 27 or 2028. All right, we are up. We've got Jonathan Taylor, we've got Derrick Henry, and Nico Collins here. Nico Collins. Deciding what I want to do. All right, let's take Herbert. Let's make a Herbert team. We'll do Herbert, and then do we want to take Ladd? Dear God, do we want to take Ladd on this team? This is so brutal. This is so killer. Like, do I want to take Ladd, or do I actually really want to take QJ? All right, I'll take QJ. Why not? We'll live a little. We'll do Ladd with QJ with no Giants. I think bringbacks are a little bit overdone these days. If this guy takes Herbert, sorry, I realized I already had Herbert. All right, we'll take QJ there. So we've got Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Nico Collins, and QJ. And you know what? Just for you, Go AZ Cards, I will prove to you I am not lying. I will queue up Brenton Strange. If Brenton Strange goes, I will just take I only have to queue up two more. I'll take Dalton Kincaid. And if Kincaid goes, maybe Cade Otton. I don't mind Cade Otton as a scroll, especially if Tampa's down receivers. We've seen him have big spike weeks. We haven't seen anything from Cade Otton this season, but we will see. Go AZ Cards, you like Strange's QB? I have like one Strange T-Law team in the dog bowl. I have not taken T-Law in the main BR though. Hartman, just like Darnold, he's only 28 now. Yeah, I mean, like these people are still so young. They're still so young, and quarterbacks you can play late into your career. You just never know. QJ and Orion Mudsub, and good news, Go AZ Cards. We took QJ. Herbert Ladd will be 100% in a winning BR lineup this season. We'll see. Well, We'll see if it's this week. But yeah, I'd have to think that could definitely happen. James Young, pick the best players. I hope that's not a winning strategy because I just drafted Quentin Johnson with real American dollars. But yes, no, I think sometimes we do overcomplicate it. I'll take Brenton Strange. On this team. So we end up with Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Nico Collins, and then QJ, Brenton Strange. Swiss Sanders says, so I'll be drafting Herbert Ladd every slate. I mean, yeah, you just Martingale, Herbert Ladd stacks. What could go wrong? Hey, Brian H., thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Hey, Chad, appreciate you popping into the Gumby and the Goobers a few days ago. I'm Gumby's brother on the pod. Didn't know you streamed till now. Hey, Brian, thanks so much for coming in. That was fun. That was actually the first time I'd been over in Gumby's channel. I didn't know that he streamed. It was fun seeing you and Easy on there. So yeah, really appreciate you coming by. Yeah, I typically stream 8:30 a.m. Monday to Friday, so I'm on early. I'm on early when y'all go on. It is late for me, but appreciate you coming by. That was a really fun listen. James says, after seeing how QJ handled PS2 last week, I'm excited to see how he does against Cordale Flott. James, I'm gonna shoot straight with you, buddy. I don't know who Cordale Flott is. You could have put in a fake name and I would have read it like Ron Burgundy, but he doesn't sound very good. He sounds like a chef. Greg says the first Q team this week needs to Ladd Herbie Resurgence. Yeah, that's probably going to be kind of a low-owned combo because it just hasn't done well. Swiss Sanders, QJ on the same MetLife field. That's a no-no. Yeah. Yikes. Hartman as a 3% QJ exposure guy. The hate is crazy. I drafted QJ. The only thing that stopped me was that stupid concussion, which was such a dumb thing. Like an off-season concussion was like not a good reason to not take a guy. Because I mean, players come back from that until it becomes a multiple concussion thing. But I was just afraid that was the height of Lambert Smith mania, and they had Trey Harris, so it felt like, we were looking for reasons to get off QJ. Hartman knows concrete. Yeah, James. Swiss Sanders rather concrete knower. I didn't know why Hartman would know concrete. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why Swiss Sanders knows concrete either, but maybe we could find that out. FK Course, where's T-Mac being taken this week? Like him a good amount. Who's T-Mac? Tracy McGrady. What am I? I know who you mean. Tet McMillan. I forgot we had switched to him being T-Mac. I was thinking Tracy McGrady. He's not getting taken much. And now that he has a little probable tag. Yeah, he missed practice yesterday. So he's fallen in dog bowls. Let me hop in. I don't think anyone's coming on at 10 today. Let me make sure that I'm not about to run into the Peter Davis buzzsaw here. Let's see. All right. I know Davis is going live, but I don't think he comes on until at least 11. Hold on one second. All right, no, Davis goes live at noon, so we're good. So I can try to hop in a dog bowl. That's what I wanted to see, because those are, all right, waiting for one. If anyone wants to get in, get on in. Swiss Sanders wasn't taking QJ because he wasn't able to catch a ball. Well, that's a thing, like drops not being sticky. It does feel like if you can learn any one skill in football, it would be like fixing drops. It does seem like eminently, like he could do all the hard part. James says nearly going undrafted after Hammy News Monitor. Yeah, that's the Tet McMillan stuff for sure. Go Easy Cards. Agree. Scatabo season. I mean, my God, it's got to be good for the old BBM advance rate. I got to say that. Pretty happy with that. So we're in the 9 hole here. It looks like we got some friends and family in. Let me catch up with chat. Yeah, he did. Swiss Sanders. It looks like he learned to catch. Swiss Sanders is an engineer, not simul, semi-pseudo concrete adjacent. Gotcha. David Russell says, it was great for those of us already taking QJ, just slurped the dipperino from that point. Yeah, if you didn't stop taking QJ, you probably have a pretty strong advance rate. FK Coors was trying to, no, I appreciate that. FK, this is a family, famously is a family show here. FK Coors. Greg says, MetLife is like playing in the street. Yeah, it is a war crime that they have like this premier stadium that's going to host the World Cup finals or semis. I can't remember if they got the finals or semis. Is the flagship franchises of the NFL. Like a couple of them play there. I mean, yeah, they're not great, but like New York, the New York teams, the main New York City teams play on like a field that I wouldn't want, like, you wouldn't want your like high school team to have to play on. Greg says, I actually got on that field a few years ago. It really is concrete. Crazy professional athletes have to deal with that. It is just mind-boggling how much they spend on that stadium to then have like turf and issues and so many injuries. FK Coolers, if he goes in round 6 or not at all, I'll pick him a decent amount because the swaps will be easy. Yep, I agree there. I mean, I think I was taking him before the injuries and dog bowls, and now I've kind of backed off. Swiss Sanders drops aren't sticky unless they are. Yeah. Again, we've learned Dontavian Wick seems like he's fixed it. He was the classic dropsy example. All right, Hulk Smash Potatoes. Hey, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Hulk Smash Potatoes. Swiss Sanders. Also for QJ, he legitimately refused to stop trying to catch with his body, which caused several of the drops. Yeah, again, I don't know. I'm not hand in the dirt enough to know if he has remedied that this year. It also feels like he is like some kind of wizard and is able to get defenders to fall down, because I swear half of his touchdowns are like blown coverages. Like maybe he's really good at like befuddling defenders, but Swiss Sanders similar to what? Oh my God, the MHJ, like I'm wide open, let me leap into the air. And do a pirouette and try to catch the ball. Yeah, FK Cores, I see Chad G20 in there. It's not good. We don't like to see that. Greg says Scatabo is fine though. He looks like he eats concrete for fun, built for MetLife. Yeah. He certainly plays the game hard. I'll be interested to see what the split with Singletary ends up being this week, because I think Singletary is going to play more than some people think, but I'm okay with that eventuality. I don't need Scatabo getting like 90% of the touches. I think that could lead to some like really inefficiency. And he is explosive. He's just not fast. So you still want to see him break those like 20, 25 yard runs where he like breaks 2 tackles and like drags a guy across the field. All right, let's take Derrick Henry here. And then it wouldn't be one of my streams without me having to blow my nose at the most inopportune time in history, but I am finally getting over a cold. Hopefully I'm not getting a new one, so give me 1 second. All right, dear God. Okay. All right. Swiss Sanders may see Singletary on some third downs, but I think Scat is, yeah, I'm not worried about it affecting his usage much, but I think there is some idea that like he's going to just inherit the whole backfield, like, and I don't think that's true, but I don't think he needs it. Like I think it's going to be really good. Hey, Dabbles, first of all, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out with us today. I think it's mainly that defenders can't believe he actually caught the ball and fall over in disbelief. Yeah. Yeah, it's people that drafted him in BBM 3 years ago and just lost all their money. Or was it 2 years ago? Whatever year it was that we were taking on a QJ and he was like god awful, and he's turned it around. He has turned it around. Didn't Singletary start last week? Tracy started last week. But yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. We were all like kind of surprised that Tracy had started there. All right, so we got Derrick Henry. Let's see what Patrick Barnes YouTube. He'll probably take Josh Allen, knowing Patrick Barnes YouTube and his propensities for this sort of thing. I have to decide: do I want Neighbors in his wonky toe? Do I want to scroll? Do I want Scatabo? where do I pick next? I pick at 33. At 33, I should get either one of Kamara or Pollard. I think my truth is that I like Genty quite a bit this week. I think Genty is live to be very good against this porous Chicago defense, and I'm confident in my ability to conjure up some kind of QB back stack or something later. So we'll take Henry Genty on this team and see if we can't conjure up something around the turn. FK Core says Tracy did. No, Tracy did. He had I think he had like 9 touches, but 9 or 10 touches. Greg said Tracy started left early. Big Motor should be out there to spell Scatabo. Yep. Greg says, and we'll probably steal some goal line work. No, I don't think they will. I do not think Singletary is going to steal the goal line from Scatabo. I would be pretty stunned to see that. Go AZ Cards. Holy Green Batman. I think I missed that. Go AZ Cards. Swiss Sanders, Singletary started in week 2, but only 6% of snaps. Yeah. I think that was one of those classic, like, veteran deference. You're the starter. You've been with the team forever. I think Dable likes Singletary. And I think that's more what that was than, like, the actual reality of the situation. Chris has Scatabo or the wonky toe. Yeah, do I want the guy who might not play or my favorite player ever? And I took Genty instead of Scatabo, but I will end up with a lot of Scatabo in this contest. But I don't know. I feel like this is a game I want a lot of. This Vegas Bears game. Go AZ Cards is referencing the running backs in your draft. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm the only one who went RB, which is a little bit surprising. Usually you see, by the time it gets back to the 4th pick, you've seen at least someone else do it. FK Cores, I like your start so far. Can't imagine what running back looks like when it rolls around to you in round 2. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. And it's nice when you draft on the computer because you can actually see it. On your phone, it ghosts them. Like, I wish it just ghosted it out to where you could see the running backs, not just like you can't see anymore, because it's like good information, and you kind of lose that. Which is, to me, is slightly annoying. But yeah, I mean, I probably be able to take like Tony Pollard or Kamara. One of them is likely to come back, but 12 standards, 12-man drafts on your phone are awful. Yeah, I agree. It's much harder to get a lay of the land. Yes, PTPs are meant for the phone. I think the best way to draft PTPs is to not, but I still keep doing it anyway. This PTP I like because you do get 3 games, so it's not too bad. It sucks when it's like, it's one of those, there's 4 teams and only 3 of them like actually use a tight end, so then it's like tight ends kind of get artificially pushed up, or you just get like really wonkiness. FK Cores, as a PTP player, I agree with that. Yeah, PTP hurry-ups are kind of soft. The thing, my view on PTPs, and maybe this is just Giga Cope because I've never won a PTP, is that it's a volume game. Like, you need to just play enough to where you either get the GM start and you get that combination that's like nobody else has or very few other people have, where you get those like massive position drop-offs, and you get lucky that normally you have to like sacrifice that receiver or running back or something, and you don't, or you play enough to where you're able to sprinkle in the like super late scroll downs that the people doing 4 and 5 drafts aren't getting to. That could be wrong, and that's probably like an unfair way, but that's what I kind of feel about the PTPs is that there's really a big edge to the volume play. I mean, that's true in anything, right? But I feel like it feels to me exacerbated in the PTPs, and I'm open to being wrong about that, but that's just kind of my vibesy take on that. PTP hurry up soft, just mixing and matching in the last rounds. I do the hurry up for that reason. Swish. I need to. I'm not even sure which one the hurry up is, so I got to check that out. The Gale, somebody got to win. Might as well be us. I'm I am with you there. Scatabo going at pick 26. I mean, that's Go Easy Cards is just living the life I want to live. My God. All right, so Kamara and Pollard are going to make it back, or at least one of them will. We're probably not going to go that particular direction. Now, we are going to be at a crossroads of what we do here. Ricky Pearsall, interesting click there. If Jennings is out, I like Ricky Pearsall quite a bit. Unfortunately, so does this guy. And now we have to decide what we want to do. I am going to lean into the what could go wrong. What could go wrong leading into the Las Vegas Raiders? So we're going to go Genty and Myers, and quite clearly this is very likely to be a Geno team. I'm going to have to keep an eye on Cutler, of course, who with Bowers is live to take Geno. We didn't go elite quarterback. We went Derrick Henry, of course. So we will have to see. I will not take Geno at pick 40. That would be a total panicking move there. I would, however, take Geno at pick 57. Would be the likely plan for us. Swiss Sanders, yeah, I do the bash and maybe one actual PTP per slate. Yeah, I usually end up pretty light on the PTPs. Definitely reminds me of Showdown DFS disregard volume drafting with ugly combos. Yeah, that's and like the $3 20 max. I tend to play on Showdown slates like single entry stuff because the lotteries, they're won by someone who has 150 lineups and they've spent $44,000 in salary. And it's just like a game of optos versus sims, and you're just like, it's brutal. The big lotteries, it's so brutal. I don't know. Again, maybe that's just cope, but it's I do definitely prefer the single entry side of the universe. All right, let's see. I think if we're going to do this, we then just take DJ Moore. I think it's Galbrain to take Caleb unstacked. DJ Moore is pretty unlikely to come back to us. In a vacuum, I probably prefer QJ or JMO to Moore, but I think we're going to build a very specific team build here. Specific game stack. So we go Genty, Myers, and DJ Moore with Derrick Henry. In the ideal world, we'll take Geno. I would love to be able to push Geno, but I do feel like Cutler is very live to take Geno. If Baker's still there, I would imagine he'd probably prefer Baker because he does have Devonta on the other side, but I don't want to risk that. If somebody takes Geno, again, that's fine. And then we just have to come up with some alternative plan there. Swiss Sanders enjoying the hurry up there. FK Coors, which rankings are you referring to with the Sharbs comment? I somehow missed that. This slate has been fun because people completely ignored Charbonnet and are drafting Ken Walker until the rankings draft. I assume he's talking about the ETR rankings, which come out, I believe, on Wednesdays. But don't quote me on that. David Russell, I believe your vibe is correct. The smaller the field, PTP 14K versus larger BR64, there's a distinct volume advantage. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, it's, saying there's an advantage to playing more. I'm not like breaking any ground there, but it feels exacerbated in the PTP because here, in the BR, if you follow ADP and you say this is the combo, you can probably within 5 lineups build it. Like if you're not trying to get anything that reaches in ADPs, where in PTPs, it's very hard to settle on a combination at ADP that like looks good. And then even if it does, there's going to be teams that randomly get those, like, for some reason everybody pushes running back and you get the 2 like the 1.5 stud running backs or something. That's just like not happening in 95% of rooms. And you just have to be there like ready with volume. I don't know. I think that's the main difference to me is like there is the edge you get in a, I don't want to say bad, but in a like very offbeat PTP room is way more than the edge you get in an offbeat BR room. And you just have to be in a ton of rooms to ultimately hit that. Let's see. The Bears wide receiver 3, running back 2 in the 4th. Fascinating. I don't. I think you're making fun of me for taking DJ Moore over Rome Odunze, which I certainly would understand. I'm not willing to pass the torch to Odunze quite yet, but I obviously do have some concern about that. FK Core is not talking. Yeah, the ETR full week projection. FK Core is on board. On the volume convo, switching second quarter to 150 max has attracted the super volume bro killers. Yeah, I mean, the other thing about some of those is it feels like a little bit of diminishing returns at the margins of some of those, which I don't know. I guess, RTSs have made it so that you really can just like grind those out without like a loss. Like if I had to sit and grind 150 2Qs, I'm sure by the end of it, some of those teams would just be kind of terrible. But if you're just like using an RTS to keep you on the rails, then yeah. David Russell, the greater the advantage, the smaller the field. When they're both 150 max, still luck is luck. Yep. The first one Q seemed a little softer. Yeah, that's not too surprising. Sometimes these things get like optoed to death. DeAndre Swift is still here. Nobody took Swift. Very interesting. Let's do the. I scrolled too far. Gino. If this guy takes Gino, I am going to be so bummed out. I don't know why he would. It really wouldn't make a ton of sense, being that he could take Purdy or Dart, but you never know. Okay, he took Dart. Oh my God, I don't know why I thought that said Geno, and I almost lost my mind. All right, we'll take Geno Smith here. Let's not push it, because again, like we noted, we had the Brock Bowers drafter. 2 tight ends are going to go. Let's see who they are, and then yeah, not bad. I like this team. Henry, Genti, Jacoby Myers, DJ Moore, and Geno Smith in this team. And then in the ideal world, we will get our scroll down guy of Brenton Strange again. He's been our last round click that we're really into. If Strange is gone, then maybe we do Kincaid, maybe we do Juwan Johnson. I don't have much Juwan Johnson, but I'm certainly think he's going to be have a pretty positive game script. But let's try to keep this tight end bet concentrated this week and take Brenton Strange. So final team is Derrick Henry, Ashton Genti, Jacoby Myers, DJ Moore, Geno Smith, Brenton Strange. Let me catch up with chat, and then we'll wait for Go AZ Cards. We'll also look in on Crutch's team. Crutches is a very sharp drafter here. If there's anyone wants me to highlight, I am happy to do so as well. Swiss Sanders says, not a ton of people rushing to do the podium of PTP. Hurry up with those projections on a Wednesday night. But I did notice many of my lobbies were way more badges than earlier. Yeah, I honestly think there's a big edge in doing these before the projections come out. Yeah, I think you can. A lot of people are very projection reliant, and you can catch some value before the market gets moved by big ETR. Yeah, you're joking about DJ Moore. Yeah, you might not be joking, Swiss Sanders, but we will see. I mean, I did want to build out that game stack. Once I took Myers with Genti, I do feel like I'm betting on this game, and I'm going to play it through the Geno side of the world. Jake Bittinger, afternoon playbook day 1 this week at CMC. Henry didn't land the plane, which isn't doable now. Yeah, exactly. Like these things are going to move. And who knows? Maybe you landed the plane more than you think you did. FK Cores did 25 2Qs. Look like the Dallas Buyers Club meme where Matthew McConaughey is crying in the car. I didn't know that with that movie that was what that movie was from there. Swiss Sanders, if I had the funds to max the 2Q, I would. There's so many horrendous teams in there. People willingly draft so many players with big gate buys. Yeah. Again, I think these contests have a pretty nice edge to them. Lots of teams dead with injuries now too. Yep. Yeah, that's one where you definitely can wait a little closer to lock, because I'm sure there's a lot of James Conner teams and even Joe Burrow teams potentially. I can't remember when that contest opened. Swish is going to draft some next couple days, try to jam some after Sunday in case more injuries. Yeah. FK Core same might be able to do 50. Yeah, that's a nice total. That is a nice total. Swiss Sanders, back to the PTP stuff. People didn't pay attention to the fact that Sharp just had a full practice. He's going to be 50% drafted, which is bad. Yeah, no, I think people should be taking him, and and it's definitely a big negative for Ken Walker. The only issue though is there's not a lot of options. So like, I mean, how much should Ken Walker fall? Probably not that much, because like you still probably, there's a good chance Ken Walker is like one of the guys you need. Go Easy Cards. Thanks, Chad. Another fun morning are you kicking me off? Go Easy Cards. I'm done, I guess. Goodbye, everyone. No, I'll run one more BR and then I'll get out of here because I, Go Easy Cards. I can take a hint. When it's time for me to go. But before I go, everyone, can you please like and sub to the channel? No, I'll run another BR or two and then I will get off. FK Coolers, I just tried to make a bunch of love double stacks for the PTP. I hope that's what you need. Yeah, that's there's definitely a lot of different receivers you can do with the Packers side of the ball. All right, so Go Easy Cards. He takes Bijan, Odunze, and Scatabo. I love that start. Travis Kelce, Mahomes, and Hollywood Brown. So he goes with the KC double stack. And Go Easy Cards. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry. I know you won. I know you got the dog bowl. That's an interesting pick. That Hollywood Brown pick is surprising. I've seen people take Thornton in these with Worthy back and Thornton looking good. I am surprised. I'm surprised you took Hollywood Brown, but you're also going to Kansas City and I'm not. So who am I to disagree, as Cher once famously said. But I'm surprised to see Hollywood Brown as that last click. And I know my big stupid face is covering it on the draft board, because that's where my camera is. I don't think I can move it. But yes, Go Easy Cards ended the team with Hollywood Brown. David Russell, knowing Hollywood revenge game. I mean, that is true. That is true. They did let him walk from Baltimore there. Go Easy Cards also had a team score 41 in the duality of man. That was what we were talking about yesterday. If you don't have teams finishing last, you're not taking enough risk. The optimal number of last place teams is not 0. And Go Easy Cards, you are living proof of that. One more bonus BR, and we were all plus EV this week. Swish Sanders, that's what I've been doing. Coolers on the love double stacks. Hey, Aaron, first of all, thanks so much for coming in. Has anyone posted ownership data on the first quarter final? FK Coolers to the rescue says that they have, so we will see that. But yeah, Aaron J, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Our cracked staff is on it. FK Coolers, I guess you're part of the cracked staff here. Swish Sanders low-key avoiding the Viking Steelers aside from Mason and Warren. Kind of hate playing guys who are flying to Europe midweek. Multiple hours ahead. Yeah, those games can be pretty ugly. I mean, London games, it's hard to know if they were ugly because the guys were traveling to London, or it was like always the Jags when the Jags were god awful. Yes, they're still not great, but yeah, that is of course one tact you can take is of kind of avoiding the pass catching high upside or high octane side of those games. Would love to see if that is so. Aaron, shows all teams and ownerships. All right. I'm not sure. FK Coolers, did you try to share that in the chat here? If it didn't work, because I don't think you can share links, if you put it in Discord in Slappy Central, I can post it if that's what you're trying to share. Because I think only the channel person can post links in chat. Swish Sanders, although Vikings are staying over there all week next week, so it'll be fun to see how the theory works out. I mean, that'd be fun to stay in Dublin for a week. All right. Oops, I meant to look at Crutch's team, but I failed. And you can't go back. All right. Let's hop in a BR. We'll do a BR or two, and then we will get on out of here. But again, appreciate all of the support. Let's see. But yeah, we'll try to find that. I think me putting the symbol in there made it get filtered out. Are you talking about in Discord or in here? Because yeah, again, I think there's an issue with the links in the I don't think it lets people put links in YouTube chat. All right, so we are in the one hole. Go Easy Cards at the 4. Oh no, Crutches at the 5. Dear God. So we got a real room of killers here. So again, I will actually try to pay attention to what Crutches does this draft, but I missed it. I missed it in the last one. I don't know if is BBMDB doesn't have the 1Q, does it? I don't think they have the first quarter. Probably would have been like tough on the programming side because it's like such a different contest. But either way, we'll just take CMC with the 101. Greg says, speaking of Discord, Chad, you got 200 subs. Got to get the candle channel. Oh my gosh, I think the last people want is another Discord. It's another Discord channel. We'll see. Maybe one day I could be a carve out in one of the bigger streamers Discord if I can get on that radar. But I will not put everyone through having to join yet another Discord. Maybe if we get really big. But I have to say I enjoy my viewers too much to make them do that at this point in this. But I mean, it means so much that y'all hang out here and having a good time, getting some drafts in, chatting a little football. We got Thursday night football. I'm excited. I sneakily like the Seahawks. They're kind of a fun team. The Cardinals, not as much fun. We'll see. Yeah, the Candle Channel sponsored by Davis Maddock. Yeah, that would be my best job. Yeah, in Slappy Central. We'll see. Maybe if we get a little bigger. But I do appreciate all of you. Disagree. Every one of the Discord channels has their own flavor. Yeah, again, I think a sub channel would be a good one. An entirely new Discord. We just end up scattering all of the discussion to the wind there. All right. But yeah, maybe one day in Slappy Central if Davis was on board. So we're in the one hole. We got CMC, Go Easy Cards. He took Puka Nakua, and Crutches took Cook, and then Gibbs in there. So he goes running back. Go Easy Card says, I can push running back in these 6-person rooms, and he goes Nico Collins. I like Nico Collins. I think he's my wide receiver 2 this week. I don't think I'm breaking any ground with that assessment of the situation. And then what do we want to do? Are we over our skis with how high Rome Odunze is going? I don't have as much Josh Allen as I probably should. Let's see. I wouldn't mind a Josh Allen team just because I haven't done that. Lamar Jackson's fine, but I feel like we've done a few Lamar Jackson teams. All right, so he takes Devontae Adams. Let's do Josh Allen, and we'll take Rome Odunze. We'll buy this. We'll buy this Odunze. No, we won't. We're taking a running back. We're taking Omari and Hampton. We've got concepts of a plan brewing in the old noggin here. So we go CMC, Josh Allen, and Omari and Hampton, and then we'll pass the torch on to the rest of the room. Wait, there's already a channel, FC Solana. Oh my God. Yeah, the crypto channel. The crypto channel in there. FK Core, the filter must be strong. I never even tried links, but mentioned the everything app by name and the guy's handle. So I guess that did it. Oh my God. I did FK Core, for what it's worth. I did not do anything to the filters there. Oh, okay, perfect. You just put it. I see you sent it. All right, I think I can do this. All right. There we go. All right. It looks like, I don't know if it comes up as a link for you all, but that thanks FK Coolers for bringing that up. It does look like that is the proper link to my, yeah, I've seen this person posting some stuff there, some ownership stuff, and it seems like it's Yep, that as a link works. You can copy it too. All right. Well, there we go. I'm glad we got that in. Thanks so much, FK Coolers, for looking that up. Thanks for pinging me over on Discord so that I could share that. FK Coolers, if you just go to the site in his bio, you can see both finals. The 1Q final. What's the second finals? There's the 1Q, and then I'm not sure what the other one you're referring to is. All right, so we're going to go way far field, guys. We're going to go Keon Coleman, and then I'm going to take my guy Brenton Strange because I don't want anyone to take him. I'm really into my Brenton Strange thing. So we're going to play Josh Allen through the Keon Coleman side. We got Brenton Strange opposite CMC. I would have taken Strange anyway, but that is what we are going to do. Oh, they released 2 different 50 max 1Qs, and he has both. I see. I didn't even realize there was a second 1Q. I didn't realize that. So that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, 50 max is nice. 50 max is nice. It's kind of like it's enough for the big volume people to do it, but enough to where the smaller field players, can kind of get home. Hey, Fantasy Dog, thanks so much for coming in. Number 30 morning, Chad, looking good. Hey, really appreciate it. 30 likes for this channel is fantastic. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all coming in and hanging out. Appreciate the likes so much. Means a lot to me. We're a small operation, but we're trying to get there. We're trying to get there. But thanks so much for hanging out, and thanks for the likes. That is awesome. Thank you, Fantasy Dog. Let's see though what the truly best and brightest are doing. So we got Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Brock Bowers, Rome Odunze, and Bucky Irving. I imagine Go AZ Cards is lining up to take Caleb here. That would be my guess, but of course we will see how Go AZ Cards plays it. Could potentially take Geno or just do a take a one-off rushing quarterback situation. Crutches, he goes Cook, Gibbs, Warren, Neighbors, and Debo. I imagine he's going to take Jaden Daniels and play the Q-tag game if I had to guess what Crutches does. You see a lot of the high volume players do play the Q-tag game more than others. I know Crutches also plays like 25 tables at a time, so he might not be he might be going more off of the suggestions and ranks. Yeah, so he does take Jaden Daniels, so we do see him do that. Again, the Q-tag game is something that is very valuable in the BRs, and we should be taking advantage of it. Getting Geno and Debo pretty nice. Caleb here does go AZ Cards, so he does end up making that stack. And we are going to, we have to show we are the smartest guy in the room when we are very clearly not the smartest guy in the room, because we're in a room with Go AZ Cards and Crutches. We're going to take Rashid Shaheed. We're going to play a mini game stack with Allen, Coleman, and Shaheed. We're going to play this away that is, if anyone did get to this point, they are going to be taking Chris Olave. And Chris Olave himself is a scroll. Rashid Shaheed is a scroller's scroll. So, again, he's going to be like 2% owned in this contest. And we'll be part of that and see if we can't make a different team. So we got CMC, Josh Allen, Omarion Hampton, Ken Coleman, Brenton Strange, and Rashid Shaheed. All right, Go AZ Cards. Bucky says Bucky 5th round seems like a gift. Yeah, I mean these drafts, people. I'm telling you, as the longer the week goes on, you get more people going farther afield as they're like intentionally trying to build things. But I agree, Bucky might get the ball 28 times against the Eagles with the injuries they've had. Result of Eagles D-line and Bucks missing 3 O-linemen. Well, yeah, 5th is still silly. I like going Allen and Juwan. Yeah, that's another way to play it. That's going to be done a lot less, especially because a lot of Allen teams are going to have Kincaid. You're going to see a huge crossover between the Allen drafter and the Kincaid drafter. All right, let's do one more BR and then we'll wrap it up here. So let me hop in to that, and let's see. Waiting for 2. If anyone wants to get in, you can hop on in. We'll be on again tomorrow. We'll obviously recap the Thursday night stuff. People can chat about their early returns. This is sort of like, what is it? On election night, there's that one town in New Hampshire that like reports their results at like midnight the day before or something, or the midnight of, and they're the first results to come in. So we'll get our very early returns for the 1Q. See what people see where people are at, how they're feeling after one game in the books. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Trey Benson people, either really happy that they got him or, wishing that he had done a little more. So it'll be good. And of course, a lot of Seahawks were drafted on most teams. They had a number of players in the top, 7, 8 rounds in the 1Q. All right, we're at the 6 hole. We could try to get a little weird. Last time I said I was going to get weird, I ended up with a Bijan Puka team. So if not, we'll try to do something a little different. Maybe do a little scrolling early in the draft and foregoing this. Maybe just have nobody Lamar Jackson it up. We'll try to build a team like that and just get very different that way. Which I don't want to do often, but I'll throw in a team or two just to, sprinkle it in. Yes. Dixville Notch. David, thank you for knowing what the heck I was talking about. Yes, you're exactly right. And I think they have like 6 people in the town, and it's always a whole big thing. And it has absolutely zero predictive value, but it is just one of those election night traditions that we do here in this country of ours. So Puka Nacua goes. Let's do Nico in Hampton. Why not? Let's do that. Let's go Nico Hampton. Maybe, yeah. My only issue with Nico Hampton is you might be able to get 2 of these guys with one elite guy, depending on how the rooms shake out. Like you might be able to get like CMC Nico Hampton, which might be like exactly what AZ Cards got last time. But we're gonna try to build something different. We told ourselves we're gonna build a team that did not utilize the top 12 in ADP. So we'll live that truth. We'll try this. This could be absolutely terrible. Swish Sanders says I made the mistake of checking my PTP teams at the end of the third quarter Monday night. Had 2 live lineups in the top 20. Neither hit. Yeah, it's so brutal when you get that false hope. You look and you're currently winning as like 10K, and then you realize you have like no PMR, and it just like by the end of the night you're like, I hope I'm in cash. Yes, it is such a good bit. They like keep track of the votes on a chalkboard there. Swiss Sanders have a lot of Andrews going into tonight, so I will not be opening the dog. I have a lot of Andrews. I don't quite follow because they play Sunday, so I don't know. Not 100% sure. Hartman says the fantasy VIP site is awesome. Really cool having that and BBMDB for roster baiting. Yes, I mean it's so nice that people are doing this out of their own time. There, Swiss Sanders. What's your professional evaluation of Stroud? Yeah, I think Stroud is lucky that T-Law exists. Is my evaluation, because I mean Stroud shadily at the end of last year was starting to look a little dicey. I would have taken Odunze. That I will confess that was something I was kind of interested in. Let's do a Devontae Adams, and sorry, I'm trying to see who I have on this team already. Let's do Adams and Warren here. I just saw it said Adams dealing with a sore hamstring. I hope that's not actually true, but anyway, I missed that bit of news if something's going on with Adams. We'll do Adams and Warren. We'll say that we got Adams here versus Puka, so we're gonna do a little bit of a leverage on this thing. Oh, gotcha. Andrews popped off Monday night to Thursday night slate. Sorry, I got you. I forgot that it's funny the cross slates that they do the Monday to Thursday night, then they do Thursday night to Sunday night, so you get like some interesting combos there. Yes, Andrews going off, of course. Yeah, good luck, Swish Sanders, if that's the case, because you might be live in some stuff. Wednesday Vet Day, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm assuming that's not anything, because I imagine I would have seen people kind of panicking yesterday if that was truly an issue there. So we've got Nico, Omari, and Hampton, Devontae Adams, and Tyler Warren on this team. We'll see which direction we want to take the crew. This team is going to look and project terribly because I avoided the almost the first 2 rounds of the way these drafts typically go. I don't think I gave anyone anything too insane in so doing, but again, this is why volume can be helpful, because people in this room did get the benefit of me scrolling earlier than most scrolls. I don't think you should do this very often. I don't think this is like the best but I do mix in a couple of these each week, and in hopes that maybe, it's the week where there's a lot of early landmines, and we can land on something cool by getting slightly different somewhere else. All right, how do we want to quarterback this team? I mean, this feels like it could potentially be very Danny Dimesy with Warren. I do like to build like that. I do really like Debo. I think Debo is a pretty big value. So maybe we do a 3 wide receiver team. We do Debo, and wait, did somebody take? Oh, someone took Jaden Daniels. Okay, I was going to take Jaden Daniels and do the Q tag situation, but instead we'll just take Daniel Jones on this team. So we'll do Debo and Danny Dimes. So this team is Daniel Jones, Omarion Hampton, Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, Debo Samuel, and Tyler Warren. So a little bit different of a team. It's definitely not going to be duped. It's probably not going to cash either, but it's a little different. I'll pull up the board so people can see what's going on. But everyone, thank you so much for coming in. I had a really fun stream with you guys. Go AZ Cards asking us Hollywood Brown draftable. Go AZ Cards. Hollywood Brown is not on my draft board. I will end up with no Hollywood Brown this week, but I do appreciate you opening my eyes to a deep scroll I had not considered. Again, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. You are going to be in Kansas City. So again, I probably lost the ability to call your teams interesting, but I will call that pick interesting. That was a very interesting pick there. Hartman, hey, thanks so much for coming in. Hey, David, thanks. Good show. Hey, really appreciate it, David. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Swiss says Taekwon more draftable than Hollywood. Yeah, I mean, that would be my general thought, is that Taekwon has kind of surpassed Hollywood, but Worthy's coming back, so it could shake things up. But, we'll see. We will see. Hey, later, gang. Later, Greg. Later, Swish. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.